Hello and welcome back to Gamedec. So we have finished our first case and now we've woken up with our power off. I don't feel like we got the right answer to our first case, so maybe our second one will turn out better. Window. Warsaw City, my polis. Contemplate. And a few things I needed to think over. You can't really contemplate without a drink in your hand. Luckily the servo bot knew exactly what I needed. I greeted my robotic friend. It was waiting for instructions as usual. Oh, we're a detective, it's gotta be whiskey. Whiskey. I could choose from an expensive single malt and a common decent blend. Well, we'll choose a reputable blend, or brand, yeah. Food and drink manufacturers regularly supplied me with high quality products for my servobot. All I had to do was mention a brand on my social media every so often. I decided to think some stuff over and get to work. Let's think about sensory worlds. Thousands of games and millions of players means plenty of cases for Gamedecs. Hatred, greed and deviousness are especially common online. Two topics had been especially popular in the media recently: digital love and whether it's better to live online or in Relium. Games or Relium. I took a sip. Game fans say that they let them fulfill their dreams and that they don't have to obey the rules of nature, which are a bitch. They can choose their gender, looks, go on adventures. Opponents call it escaping and claim that you can only get tough in Relium. Relium presents real challenges, but you can make some good money online too. It's no less complicated than in Relium. Well, let's say we prefer games. I mean, we are a game deck, it's kind of our thing. Sensory worlds are kingdoms in themselves. There are plenty of affairs, people and nuances, so I'm not surprised that some people call them home. Experiencing something in a game is no different than experiencing it in Relium. It's just a different and more interesting level of reality. Recent events. Some have been talking about the Pygmalion technology developed by Blue Whales Interactive. It upgraded AI to the level of the human psyche. Recent gossip: a man named Ken Zhao, a young Goodabad star, screwed up in the last game, and his Black Angels lost. Let's hear about our friend Ken. Goodabads is a game where you feel actual pain. When you get hit, it gets more and more intense. There were no damage points. During one match, as he was speeding with the seal to the opponent's fort, Ken suddenly froze. The seal was snatched from him in an instant. Ken got mad, logged out and didn't come back to the game. A classic rage quit situation. During the press conference, he said he didn't know what got into him. Since that game, his whole career has been in question. It's a case for a game deck. Was it possible that the pain delivered in Goodabads caused neural disturbances? I wonder what caused that severe reaction. Too bad he didn't start looking for a game deck. That could have been an interesting case. I think it's time to get to work. Alright, so just a little bit quiet reflection there. And a new technology thing. We've learned about servobots. You have your tea, coffee and alcoholic beverages, soft drinks, and you have all that. You most likely have a kitchen mat, who doesn't, which knows how to make all kinds of food and drinks. But will a kitchen mat follow you when you need some company or when you want to contemplate for a moment looking out the window? Will it be with you when you're working hard at your computer in the cold? No, the kitchen mat is a static piece of furniture. The servobot is not. The servobot is beautiful. The servobot will go anywhere a kitchen mat can't. Like a loyal dog, it will accompany you when you want to have a drink while looking at your city. We'll make you some hot tea for when you're working late at night. And remember your favorite flavor combinations and temperatures, both high and low. The servobot will learn your preferences, and you will love it. Even more so when you realize this wonderful piece of decorative furniture comes with a discount for all beverages purchased from ServShake. Do you like Tiffany's Earl Grey? We've got it, and for 30% less than other retailers. Do you like Jack Daniels? Of course you do, who doesn't? When you purchase a servobot, you'll be able to get it from us for 20% less than other stores, and believe us, no one can make a JD like our serv. So what are you waiting for? Our servobot has already chosen you. It wants to be yours. Alright, getting a little bit of an advertisement there. Right, so we need to find a way to turn the power back on. Oh, can I check my couch again? Couch had no power. Great point. Bliss's control panel. She was the apartment's AI and my non-corporeal companion. Let's check the electrical grid. The system didn't find any defects in the apartment. The fault was on the provider's end, which in this case were the tower generators. What's the problem? Could you connect the electricity to the electricity provider and report a problem? Of course. Problem reported. I've been assured that everything has now been restored to working order. By the way, you've got a new contract. Ooh, and we got the news. Today is Tuesday, July 18th. My name is Carla Columna, and this is the news. The creation of Diginets by BWI is still a very controversial topic. The company's spokesperson strongly denies the gossip, saying that psychoscans have been performed without the consent of the Psyche's owners. The spokesperson stresses that any attempts to discredit the company will not go unanswered. This has been Warsaw City News, your source for up-to-date domestic and international news all day long. Okay, so there's probably some more stuff going on with BWI at the top level. Anything else going on? Oh, we can kind of see ourselves in the mirror. That's cool. Got our door, which we don't really want to go to yet. Couch. Alright, so nothing going on there. Bliss. Nothing going on there. Don't think there's anything new here. Let's go to the computer. I love the smell of a computer booting up in the morning. The money for my latest contract could be used to give it a few upgrades. Nah, there could be other expenses. Mail. Okay. Open the email from Rhonda Zapper. Dear Gamedec, once again I would like to thank you for saving my marriage. I owe you a hell of a lot. I love Bob, even though he's a klutz with a weird religious bend. I say this because of how you looked at me. You know what I mean. Nothing would come of it. Maybe in another life. Thanks again. Bob? Thank you for the help, brother. I'm happy my wife isn't wallowing in this filth. Yes, I should feel relieved, but something keeps nagging at me. To tell you the truth, I suspect she's having an affair. I guess I should talk to a psychiatrist, huh? Kinda feel like I've gaslit him a little bit. Anyway, thanks again, and sorry to bother you. Bob. Turn to the desktop. Let's have a look at the net. Look up the Han clan. First piece of info. The clan values vigilance above all. Being in the moment keeps one's intuition and senses alert to all signs. This is the only way we can reach the truth, fellow clan members. Typical marketing copy. I looked for a contrasting opinion. Page 6, ninth result. They preach equality, saying that the truth will set us free. Fool, it was all about getting suckers to pay. That was enough. If the number of results was anything to go by, this topic was a bottomless pit. Games. Twisted and Perverted. I received some advertisements. Discount on skins. Morning, killer! We see that you were using an official skin when you last visited with us. Very bold of you. If our standard skins weren't your thing, we currently have a special deal on some that will please even the most discerning stylist. The Monster Collection. Become a bloody hockey player, a lizard, or a cat person. Special prices don't extend beyond the promotion period. New blades. We love the smell of blood in the morning. If you do too, take a look at our newest blades that'll be useful in mid-sex skirmishes. Needles you can hide in your hair. Knives that look like ponytails. Telescopic nails or other telescopic deadly wares. Be sure to stop by the in-game shop. Twisted and Perverted beckons. Void Stars. I earned in several games, but was recently focused on one, Void Stars, still in development even though it had already been released. It was supposed to be bigger than all the previous space simulators, though that was hard to imagine. Oh, it's Star Citizen. I'd already bought a few ships. I just couldn't help myself. They were damn expensive, but what the hell? I loved looking at my fleet. This is literally Star Citizen. Browse our fleet. I entered the hangar. Where was this spawn all ships option? I found it and selected it. What a beautiful view. Starting from the lightest vessels, Flyrock, an interceptor spacecraft, Slidehawk, an assault unit. Orca, an infantry carrying dropship, the gunship Giant, and the two jewels in the crown, Corsair, a big exploration ship, and Skywalk, a merchant vessel, as solid as it was bulky, beauties, all of them. The Vulture X would really make this collection shine, and buy a new ship was more exciting than expanding one's fleet. The much hyped Vulture X sure was tempting. A fantastic exploration vessel with a medical bay, a hangar with a scouting ship, strong armor, a crew of bots at your command, all for a bargain price. The price would increase later. Oh, sure, what's the worst that could happen? Pricey but reasonable. I bought it. I was the proud owner of a Vulture X. Beware space pirates, the Void Avenger takes to the stars. I'll be able to explore new systems once they were added to the game. Wonderful. Alright, mail, contracts. Mr. Gamedec, got a problem. The transfer's gone through. Find me in harvest time. Once you're there, I'll toss a clue your way. Okay, who is this? No idea. Use the couch to enter the harvest time game. Alright, let's leave. What are my other options? Can I, like, go out here? So all doors protected me and my apartment. Or maybe they protected Warsaw City from me. Okay, I need to take care of the contract. Let's go. A virtual couch, ready, waiting, and in full working order. Into harvest time. Hey, it's a new game. So, this one looks like it's going to be a little bit more friendly. This was the growing one, right? That Bob Zappa was an architect for? Harvest Time HUD. The Harvest Time HUD shows your farm level, the number of gold coins and chests you have collected, and the active boost timer, and whether you own a gun. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think this resets every time we load an area to tell me that I can actually upgrade into sleeves. I don't think we need sleeves right now. We could take it though. But I think I want to save my blue for one of these later ones. I don't want sensory celebrity either. I really would like something like programmer, or I'd like something like brain fixer. I suppose I could also like molecular scripter as well, but for that I would need another couple of hearts. Howdy, welcome to High Rock. Alright. Well, he doesn't appear to be real. I'm looking for Stanley. Are you Stanley? Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome to High Rock, the most beautiful town in the Wild West. Name's Handy Joe, and I'm a help bot. Don't go telling anyone. I'll answer all your questions as long as you give me a yee-haw. Yee-haw. I took a deep breath and let out an enthusiastic bellow. Yee-haw, that's the spirit. It's music to my ears, cowboy. What can I do for you? Do you know where Stanley is? I'm looking for a guy named Stanley. Know where I can find him? Oh, searching, tracking, fascinating. Alas, I can't give you this information. You're not on this honest farmer's friend list. Tough luck. Take a gander at them notice boards. Folks write all sorts of things on them. So if you're looking for something, maybe look there. You'll find one right there, next to the broken stagecoach. Yeehaw! What are the game rules? What's the general premise of Harvest Time? I ain't hear a yeehaw, cowboy. Yeehaw. That there just gave me shivers from spurs to hat. Now I'll answer your questions elated like a diving vulture. Harvest Time is a free-to-play game. Improve your farm, work the field, breed animals, and get coins and unique treasures from crates. The crates are in fact loot boxes, but you didn't hear that from me. As a newbie, you get a trial farm that you can improve up to level 10. Yeehaw! Once the trial period is over, you can buy a premium account. That's when the fun starts. Yeehaw! Alright. Other game rules? What about premium membership? How do I get a premium account? Someone's looking to go pro. Yeehaw! Premium account carries a monthly subscription fee. I'll send the form out now. There you go. I saw a stylish form made to look like paper. I reminded myself that I was here to do a job, not to have fun. I spotted a few phrases hinting that it'd be hard to get out of this subscription. I didn't want to unless I had to. Okay. Yeah, so we got another one of those, so it told us about it again. Okay. Virtualium, Harvest Time. Subscriptions. Stop twiddling your thumbs, buy a premium account. If you're not sure which form of subscription is best for you, we have a few suggestions. The 5-year plan, the Pioneer. You transfer funds to your account once every 5 years, and you can put it out of your mind. You're free to just enjoy yourself. For the more fastidious players, we have the 2-year plan, the Settler. It is convenient and comes with a stack of bonuses. If you like to take tabs on your investments, Buy yourself the partner plan. The transfer of funds is made automatically once a year, so you won't need to worry about forgetting. Bigger farms, extra ornaments, exclusive ornaments that others don't have, early access to upgrades. Going premium means the prestige and respect of other players. You'll find information about each of the account types by clicking on the links below. Click, click, click. Pioneer subscription rules, bonuses and privileges are listed in the link below. Clicking on the accept icon is tantamount to accepting the subscription rules and purchasing a trial subscription for the proposed period. Settler subscription rules are the same and as our partner. Cool. That's fine. What are loot boxes? So what's the deal with these loot boxes? There are crates that pop up during pumpkin harvest. You plant, you harvest, and bam, treasure. You can get rare items or coins from them. Items will spruce up your farm, while coins will speed up its growth. And yeehaw! It's so exhilarating, I'm tickle pink. You gonna tell me about loot boxes? Gossip. Loot boxing. Cal, loot boxing, what's your take on it? Well, it's shit. Could you be more specific? A steaming pile of shit. Speaking of, there's this bit. I'm going out for a bit, and the captain said leaving to take a shit. Good one, right? It's meh, loot boxing. Well, it's shit for a simple reason. Random program determines if 1,000 pieces of loot gets you 1,000 unique items or 1,000 steaming piles. But the player accepts the rules, then they know what they're agreeing to, right? Did you know what you were agreeing to when you married your old lady? But a person doesn't know what they're agreeing to until they lived through it, experienced it. And then they get roped into gambling, saying to themselves, maybe this time I'll get something cooler. This is intermittent reinforcement, the most effective form of conditioning. I only wanted to... Right. That's why temporary marriages were introduced, lasting a year or two instead of a lifetime, since we have access to immortality. That's what I wanted to talk about. Cassia, I love you, and we're just fine. Okay. I can definitely see the devs having some gripes to say about certain games development. So, because we've had Star Citizen, now we have loot boxes. But it's cool. Ask about public farms. How do public farms work? They don't work past level 10. They're still great fun though. Yeehaw! I can set you up with a locator that'll get you there. Want one? Sure. Yes, please. I'll follow that arrow. Good luck. Alright. Oh, wait, I want to speak to him again. Grand, holler if you need me. I'll answer all your questions, except that one about the meaning of life, of course. Yeehaw. Before you ride off into the sunset, meet our lovely game guide. Here's Wild Poppy. Howdy, cowboy. Did you hear? You inherited your piece of land from your uncle, Tadek Kudanozka. So you'll have the chance to taste a ranger's life. Your uncle dreamed that you would become the best farmer ever. So this is the Stardew Valley Harvest Moon reference. I guess harvest time is Harvest Moon. Okay. I'll react enthusiastically. That's amazing news. I've got land. I'm going to be a farmer. I can't believe it. Yeehaw. Exactly. So do you want to go to your farm now to start your adventure of a lifetime? No. No, thank you. I'll be waiting with anticipation for your arrival on your ranch. Alright, let's speak to him again. Places of interest. Are there any interesting sights around here? Nah, cowboy. The game is boring as beans. Yeehaw, gotcha, eh? Explore all the sights and smells and feel alive. Visit your farm. Once you hit level 15, you can go to the saloon. At level 20, you get access to the Guildhouse. Pretty neat, ain't it? But we're only able to get to level 10 on a free account. Okay. I suspect that this is also meant to be Farmville, obviously, but anyway. Harvest time. Harvest time are freemium and premium. Basia, have I told you about this peculiar game with an even more peculiar name? I won't answer unless you say the name, Stasia. Let me say it, Basia. Harvest time. Harvest time? No, you haven't told me about it, Stasia. Well, let me tell you about it then. It's free to play. That's terrible. I don't want to know anything else. Their account options include freemium and premium. Close, freemium and premium. And I even played it. You've defiled yourself. Yes, it was quite nice. I started with a freemium account, so I wasn't spending a single credit. But I was anonymous and couldn't create a proper character, get a fancy avatar or name. Sounds like you're having a wonderful time then, Stasia. Then I played on a public farm for a spell, even dug up a buried treasure chest, and the game has these boosts that make you work faster. So Stasia, you joined a game where you had to work. Lovely. And then I bought a premium account and got a private farm that farmers registered, mind you. Whatever that means. So I could finally go about crafting a proper character, improving my farm, obtaining rare items. Stasia, you sound like an addict. Haha, then I went and sold it all. Really? Of course, Basia. I'm not about to start making a fool of myself. Grave with Basia and Stasia, or old crones on the joy of breaking digital bones. And then we got gamer things. Locations in harvest time. There are plenty of villages and towns to visit in our game. Some smaller, some larger. Some just for freemium players, others which cater to a mixed crowd, and then some reserved exclusively for those who have invested substantial sums in the game. Monumental Valley is a place you'll want to visit, but in order to become worthy of this honour, you will have to consider your priorities and answer the question of whether you take our game seriously. The Midnight Express will take you to all of the game's major locations. Some can only be admired through the train windows, while others you can visit. Traytown, Flower Village, High Mountains, Great Canyons, and Salt Lake, to name a few. Choose where you want to start your adventure, grab a shovel and get to it. All locations listed are available to premium players only. Where is the Guildhouse? Where can I find a Guildhouse? Want a locator? It'll get you there. No. Alright, are you literally just gonna give me directions to places? Sure. See ya. Goodbye. Okay. So we don't need to learn about the rest. Notice board? Our work could be fancier. On the board you'll find your answer. The loot we farm is always dank. Check the board by the bank. Writing on the board looked like what you'd see in a game of paper chase. This had to be a clue. I realized I should look for the next one. Do I actually know anything about this yet? No, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Okay. Let's just choose a direction and go for it. To co-pen, you should roam. On the board, you'll see a swarm of clues. I found another clue, but the nursery rhymes and misspellings. It all seems so puerile. Who wrote this? Okay. What about this one? Tripping, sewing, and picking. Looting makes your head start tweaking. Climb the ladder straight to heaven, just to crash before 11. Someone went through a lot of trouble with these clues. Okay, I still don't really understand what they're saying, but that's okay. Right, you. You need to be authorized to access the upstairs area, partner. Okay. Oh, there's a ladder. Someone could actually be bothered to climb ladders in this game. Ladder was propped against the roof. Someone had carved climb on one of the rungs. I'll climb it. Climb, I couldn't think of a reason not to. I was curious about the view from the top. So what's this? We can jump off? The plank had the word jump engraved on it. Just a casual stroll over a chasm. Maybe it meant a leap of faith. There were no haystacks in sight down below. I'll leave it be for just now. Keep quiet or you'll startle the birdies. Hi, Professor Locke. No birds around. Hello, why did you say that? That's my name. I mean my last name, Locke. And I'm a professor. Ornithologist. A virtual one. I observe the fowl of harvest time. Why are there no birds here? I haven't been here long, but you're right. No birds here. Fascinating, isn't it? No birds during the day, no birds at night. I've confirmed it after weeks of observation. Okay. Ask about bird watching? I just want to make sure, even though there aren't any birds in the game, you're watching them? Yes, I've documented 101 species. More and more disappeared with every subsequent patch, poor birdies. I see you're interested in birds. Would you like to watch them with me? Sure. I would, but I don't have binoculars. Patience and a keen eye. These are the weapons of an ornithologist. I assure you, it's much more interesting than growing damn pumpkins. What do you say? Pretty fun, huh? Yeah, it's very relaxing. A birdie can fly by any second. It's so exciting. Have you seen anyone on the roof? Oh yes, a farmer was here not long ago. He was trying to destroy a gate. I told him to stop making noise because he was scaring the birds. Can I ask about the lack of birds again? Do you know why there aren't any birds in harvest time? A splendid question. Nobody knows. I wrote about it on messaging boards, asked the admins, but there seems to be no clear answer. Some say it's a bug the devs don't want to fix. Others say they delete them on purpose in order to get smoother animations. Simulating bird behavior was too resource consuming? That don't make sense, right? It's the end of the 22nd century. It's unthinkable. Alright, we'll leave the bird watcher, but interesting. So something's causing the birds to disappear. Well, jump. You only live once. Oh. Well, this doesn't look right. I found myself in a graveyard. Made me wonder whether I'd actually died in harvest time. I didn't think it was possible. So what's going on over here? Game code? The area looked like a fragment of some old seasonal event. These kind of attractions were designed to extract money from players. Location was surrounded by a barrier closing off the playable area. It should be inaccessible, but the code wasn't perfect. Analyze the game code. The game code showed some leftovers from the Pumpkins and Ghosts event. The main prize for completing the event was a ghost skin. Player activity? The event log showed that other than me, there was a player with a freemium account logged in here. It was Farmer Stanley, my client. Okay. Those candles have been lit recently, unless there was no such thing as a candle burnout in harvest time, but since it was a free-to-play game. Stanley, are you there? My voice echoed off the tombstones. The only response I got was dead silence. I should have expected as much. I saw motion, a human silhouette emerge from behind a tombstone. Hello, sir? Scan the player. I selected the scanning program from my deck. In harvest time, it took the shape of an old-fashioned magnifying glass. Point the magnifying glass at the player. I ran the program, and a moment later, I had all the data I needed. Account, default avatar, Farmer Male 001, default name, Farmer Stanley, organization Orange Dream. Okay, so who are Orange Dream? I'm assuming that's what we're finding here. No, more about harvest time. The Orange Dream, oh never mind, one of the organizations within harvest time. Special feature, players from this group wear orange shirts. Okay. Ask about the precautions. And see, you want to keep things low key. First the hide and seek, and now this odd place, your avatar. Stanley stayed silent. He looked like he didn't understand what I had said. What are you afraid of? We, can't talk to anyone. Bosses get mad if we don't do our daily work. And they ban chat. All we do is farm. It's all about loot boxes. It is cool, they won't find us here. Few players know about the graveyard exploit. Or, XP exploit. Okay. He looked around nervously. For a moment he gazed at the door of a nearby shrine. He faltered ever so slightly, but regained his balance and pinned his eyes on me. What's troubling you? You seem tense. What's wrong? Oh, nothing, sorry. I thought I heard something. So what should we talk about? Tell me about yourself. Can you tell me a bit about yourself? I'd like to know who I'm working for. I'd rather not talk about myself too much. You know, it's a matter of security and trust. Let's use Infotainer to earn his trust. I like that it's given us different options. I think using a people person one to earn his trust is the right way. I'm not just Gamedec. I'm also a net personality that has to maintain the reputation. You can trust me. Relium. Infotainer. Infotainers, parasites or creators. We got to the point where the media frenzy reached such levels that it's extremely hard for any information to achieve general awareness. Information companies fight not only with their competition, but cannibalize their own brands as well. Sometimes we see it on pads and in folia. News bulletins basically get eaten from the inside. But other behemoths are no longer the only worry for the big players. An army of independent news creators has emerged and have blurred the line between information and entertainment. They're infotainers. Infotainers rarely create original content. Usually they take information created by someone else and present it in a way that's often more attractive and therefore easier to digest. There's been discussion about whether such people are needed and whether their work is not ultimately a form of parasitism that constitutes an unnecessary buffer between the original content creator and the audience. Some people say that the news bulletins have lost their sense of how to deliver information communicatively, and that it's created a gap that's been filled by infotainers. Others claim that society is getting dumber and therefore needs modern-day jesters that use simple words to explain things too difficult for the mass audience to understand. Plus, there are already reporters that do it just as well as infotainers. There are also people who insist that the evolution of how information is communicated was inevitable. They believe that regardless of how smart you are and how interesting your message is, if you can't deliver it properly, then your valuable knowledge will simply not break through the noise. And this is exactly what infotainers do. They pierce holes in the colourful surface of the media pulp and deliver valuable news. At least some of them do. The rest just make fools of themselves. I think it was something like... I remember reading something a while ago about, I think it was The Daily Show, back when Jon Stewart was running it. I think it was something like it was more trusted than most news programs, and it was effectively infotainment, right? It was, yeah, there's some real news in there, but there's also there's obviously a layer of humor, joke, and satiricalism over the top of it, right? So, this is a relevant conversation. And also with Twitch streamers, restreaming events, like you have big Twitch streamers restreaming election coverage, and it's like, okay, it's one, it is news, but it's also, obviously they're doing it for a bit of humor, so things are going to be played up a little bit. Yeah, so it is an interesting conversation. This game brings up a lot of interesting conversations that it often doesn't do very much with so far, but it's nice that it brings them up. Anyway. Okay, but I don't know what to say. I like games, but now I only play Harvest. My boss is a pain in the ass, so I work hard to bring in money. Once the enigmatic sphere dropped from a loot box, Ultra, my friends say I'm lucky with my rolls. And I like a girl from the organization. I don't talk to her because I'm too shy. Gamedec, I want to make sure this this money is enough. The advance was enough. The pay rate was low but acceptable. It's enough. I'll do, Stanley, don't worry. Phew, that's good. Stanley sighed. He looked tired. Let's talk about the job. Okay, Stanley, so can you tell me why you called the Gamedec to harvest time? So we need help, me and my friends from the group. We get disconnected a lot, especially lately. Weird. It was a job for IT, not a Gamedec. You get disconnected from a game? Could it be software or hardware or the connection? No, that's not it. All those things are good, for sure. We just get kicked out of the game and all the progress gets thrown away. Forced logouts were rare and usually caused by software issues, either in the game or in the computer controlling the player's couch. So what's the main problem of my clients? Accidents and harvest time. Interesting, so we have to actually deduce what their problem is. The cause would be displayed in the logs and the player had access to that data. What were your specs like? What kind of hardware and software do you use? Do you know the specs? One moment, the game says I'm using Pro Couch, X1, a Neurovisor V3 helmet, a V-Citizen boiler suit, and a Windcrank 111.1 system. My friends from the group have similar gear, and there's just one computer. It controls all the couches. Alright, ask about one computer for several couches. One computer controls several couches, a hub of some sort? That could be the reason. Well, no, it doesn't matter. The hardware and software are good, seriously. You know what? I could come over and check what you play on, take a look at the software. That's not possible. Please, Gamedec, find another way, okay? Stanley sighed deeply. Oh man, I didn't realize there'd be so much talking. Sit down, please. I wonder whether he is not... Because we've been hearing a lot about the people who just exist in brains, right? And then just get locked into games there. And if this is all he does... It could be that him and his friends are all just kind of locked in a brain, and then they're all playing the game from there. And that would make sense why there was only one computer. But then he did say he uses a couch, right? Yeah, it does say he's using couch, so probably not. Or it could be. I originally, when he was first talking, thought he was being forced to do this, so maybe it's something to do with that. Anyway, I'll sit on a tombstone. I didn't feel tired, but I sat to be polite. Let's diagnose Stanley's condition. Tachypnea, issues with balance and speech, distraction. These could be symptoms of exhaustion, but also side effects of pharmaceuticals. Stanley took off his hat and wiped his forehead as if he were sweating. Even though the game didn't include it, he smiled apologetically. I don't know what time it is, but I'm dead on my feet. And see you're not doing so well. Tell me how you feel. Well, pretty bad lately. Work's getting harder. I've got a headache, and my arms and legs are sore. Almost everything hurts. It's bad. Are the others having the same thing happen to them? Do any others from the orange folk have similar symptoms? Yeah, almost everyone complains that they're tired and muddled. All that getting in and out of the game makes it hard to remember what day it is, what happened, and so on. Harvest time didn't simulate physical effort. It could have been caused by some specific location or something in Relium that was tiring Stanley. So they all have similar symptoms. Let's run a sensory analysis. I activated my deck and extracted a report from his helmet and suit. The body was being cooled rather than heated. Metabolic pathways showed essential enzyme deficiencies if they were not yet replenished or nourished after an excessive effort. These symptoms could be caused by bad nutrifluid or a cheap game pill. Stanley froze suddenly. He looked still as a frame. You okay? Stanley, are you okay? I checked the game log. He was still logged in. He hadn't been disconnected. There's a small problem. My boss noticed I'm not where I'm supposed to be. He's looking for me. Are you playing at work? Wait, you playing from work right now? Well, no, it's not like that, but I need to disconnect soon. I'll be brief. I need to continue about the job. So you want me to find out where you get disconnected from the game, is that it? Well, yeah, and it'd be great if you could tell us why members of our group are so exhausted. Exhausted in Relium or in the game as well? Both. It happens more often lately. Sometimes my legs are so shaky they creak. Even when I'm asleep, I'm tired. I'll try to find out what this problem of yours is. Fuck. The boss is going to check on me in Relium. I need to go. The others from the orange folk will help. They're on public farms. Oh, you can exit the graveyard through the shrine. Let's meet here later when you know something, okay? Stanley left the game and disappeared from the active players list. So we don't necessarily know why Stanley wants us here, but he is getting exhausted, which sounds like something's happening to him in Relium, potentially with a cheap game pill. So that would make sense if they're all being made to work here for loot boxes, then maybe he's been like kidnapped or something and then made to work too much. I don't know. Grobovic. There was some nicely rendered stone texture. Who was buried here? Maybe that was where the ghost came from. Take a closer look. If I was a cheater, I could search the grave. Can I be a cheater? Probably not. No. I don't meet the requirements. Oh, I haven't unlocked this one. Okay. I could maybe be a cheater, but no. Take a closer look. If the candles burn completely, some MPEG would have to come here regularly to replace them. That's why in cheaper games, candles are eternal. Okay. So we could check the grave later if we wanted to. We haven't got an awful lot of information, but that's okay. Let's return to town. Alpacs! That has to be a terrible oversight. You haven't been to your farm even once. Don't worry though, that's why I'm here. So shall we? No. Thank you. I will be waiting with anticipation for your arrival on your ranch. Okay, a new board. Potatoes, potatoes, potatoes. Fastest harvest, lots of loot. Message Farmer Zenek on the forums. Hello. Dirty scumbags. God, I hate them. Lousy freeloaders. Do you know how to get to the orange folks' farms? Could you show me the way to the orange folks' farms? Well, take a path along the rocks, then down the hill and you'll see the farms. Please, they're not even farms anymore, just a couple of homesteads. Pathetic. Where's the great expanse, I'm asking? Where are the thousands of farms stretching to the fucking horizon? Used to be a fucking simulation, a real life, a stimulation. Ugh, I can't believe they fucked it all up. So it sounds like those farms are also degrading. Interesting, like the birds. Brahma. Brahma, a sensory world created by the Novatronics company. It faithfully mirrors all aspects of Relium, the growth and development of living organisms, the structures and physical attributes of inanimate objects, dynamic weather patterns, etc. Brahma was created to ensure that Zoinets and Diginets who weren't interested in staying in game worlds had stable, normal living environment that provided them with the same sensory report that Relium does. The inhabitants of Brahma get dirty, have hygienic needs, experience hunger, etc. Those features cannot be turned off or modified in any way by the players. Brahma does not copy from Relium, and it doesn't look like any place that can be found on Earth. You want to play some darts? There's a darts booth, how about a game? Don't fuck with me. That minigame was my favorite pastime in Harvest. I was the best, I got all the achievements, I beat everyone, no cheating. I was famous in all of Harvest. You know what? The fucking devs screwed the game over with the latest patch, because it wasn't making enough money, the greedy fuckers. Who are you mad at? Isn't there a lot of frustration? Who are you pissed off at? What do you mean who? All of them, from the corporate dicks milking the game, to the programmers and designers who come up with all these stupid simplifications, claiming they're all player requested. Everything that required any effort, physical or mental, had to be simplified, eased, and minimized. All they care about is money. Why do you still play? If you're so bitter, why do you keep playing? Fuck, what else am I gonna do? What am I gonna play? I've tried so many games, but... Have you tried Void Stars? Why you try Void Stars? It's a space simulation. You build your own fleet, go from planet to planet, trade, fight, complete missions. Shit, dude, sounds awesome. I didn't know there was a game like that. Well, there is, but it's still an alpha. It's gonna launch someday, but you can buy ships now. Fucking awesome. Alright, fuck Harvest, I'm out of here. Thanks for the tip, and see ya. Getting more people hooked on Star Citizen. What a life. Void Stars. Today's guest needs no introduction. It's Chris Algernon, the lead designer of Void Stars. Welcome. Hello, Susan. Hi, everyone. Let me get right to the point. Are you ever going to finish the game? You keep adding ships, planetary systems, functions, but there's no end in sight. The players bought it, they play it, and there are still bugs and unfinished things. An interesting question, Susan. Seems obvious. Not to me, it doesn't. Would you want to end your life? Of course not. Alright, so would you want to know what happens the day after... would you want to know what happens day after day until you die? I'm going to buy a BLB. Let's assume that you won't be able to afford one. A horrible vision, but okay. I wouldn't want to know. Only that's not a good analogy. You can do plenty of unpredictable stuff in a finished game. That's true, but you can't add anything new to a finished game. Oh, come on, there are expansions. Expansions are for games that are not as enormous as Void Stars. They're finished when they're barely advanced because that's what the developers want. That's why they need to be expanded later. Void Stars is a different kind of creation. Unfinished. Maybe you should ask the players if they ever want it to be finished. If they want the thrill of discovery to end. I'm sure they'll say no. Chris, are you trying to say your game is a new genre, unfinished game? More like developing game. I think that's a good term. And I do really feel that that's a new genre. Yeah, okay, they're going pretty heavy on this whole Star Citizen thing, huh? Well, I suppose there's a good reason for it. Right. Oh, he's just an NPC. Does anyone have a ticket to the Midnight Express for sale? So we can now learn about Midnight Express, I guess. Frank, do you like trains? You mean like public transport tubes? No, I mean like the ones that ran on steam. No. No? They depress me. Railway stations and all those games style to look like they're set in olden days have a certain sadness about them. Locomotives are dirty, black, and those tracks, nope, I don't like them. Well, color me surprised, because I thought you'd say I like them, and then you'd answer that there's this one train that's not that interesting, but since you feel that way... Oh, come on, spit it out. There's this game, Harvest Time. Never heard of it. It's the Wild West combined with growing crops on a farm, and it's free to play. Yuck. And there's supposed to be a cool train there, but all in all it's kinda lame, and they're making a big deal out of it too, saying how they've got this golden, gorgeously animated ticket to get on the train. Golden. Well yeah, there's this nice animation that plays as you're tearing it, you can buy a ticket with real money or dig out the ground somewhere. I mean fuck, it might even drop from a chest. And then what? Nothing. You get to use the shitty ticket to get on the train. This excited voice tells you that you're going to see some amazing sights, and off you go. It's supposed to go through all these canyons and mountains and hills, flowers and shit. But seriously, haven't I seen more interesting places? So it's lame. Well, there's this place called Monumental Valley, sort of a haven for those who spent a fortune in the game. And when you look out the window, you can even see houses floating in the air, but you can't get off the train. So it's lame. Alright. Hello, Rusty Ed. An older man was sitting on a barrel, scanning the area. Long beard, dust on his shoulders. He looked like he'd been gathering dust for a decade. Hello. Hello, I'm a Gamedec and... I'm the guild master of Rusty Ed's guild. Ah, just a fun fact. You want to ask an old timer about farming tricks? Go ahead, Rusty Ed has a lot of stories up his sleeve. What you do in the game? What are you doing here, Gramps? So there are still curious people in the world. I mean, people that possess a virtue of curiosity. I'll tell you, I look at these young players and they can't, and I can see they don't know a thing about... I'll tell you, I look at those young players and I can see they don't know a thing. And you know what they do about it? I'm gonna say nothing. I guess nothing? Exactly, they don't ask the elders, they don't look for this so-called know-how, they think they know it all. I played this game for years. I've achieved everything. I know everything. No one asked me a goddamn thing. I see them growing carrots, and I know they'd grow faster with a barrel of ice beside them, but does anyone ask? No. You know why? You tell me, Ed. The Dunning-Kruger effect. The rookies overrate their knowledge, mentors undersell theirs. The world is changing too, especially this game. It all used to be more true to life, more difficult, and those scallywag youngsters would get the bum's rush. But I digress. I bet there's something you want to talk to me about, isn't there? Maybe you want to hear a story. Okay, tell me a story. I have 3 stories today. The topics are a legendary artifact, how I became sheriff, and the old game systems. What you want to hear? Tell me about the old game systems. Have there been any other systems here? The old man closed his eyes and smiled. It used to be a game with ambitions. It was all about portraying something genuine. Physical labor, soil, dirt. Things you don't get in Relium. You took your spade, you know, and there were roots in the ground and you had to dig through. There were snails now and then. You grabbed them and either threw them into your neighbor's field or you killed them. I hate snails. Let's ask him about it. Snails, that sounds media-worthy. Can you tell me more about them? My viewers crave stories about oddities in old games. Ed grinned. I cut the ones in half and placed them around my gardens. The other snails came to feed on them. Then I put them in a jar and covered them with salt. They turned to jelly. Jar sold for 100 coins each. Ha ha ha! That is sure one way of doing things. Thanks, Ed. So working on a farm was hard, alright? People said that they had muscle aches after going back to Relium. That was neurotransmission at work. Oh, so there was a feedback loop back to the to real life, potentially. You visualized your garden, then got lost in the work, digging up dirt, sweating, and then seeing the end product of months of work. It was therapeutic. Then upon player request, the devs started making it easier. They removed fatigue, sped up plant growth, got rid of adverse weather. Then they introduced premium accounts, subscriptions, microtransactions, and all that was left of the game was the box. Let's comment on the changes. Game changes according to trends and audience preferences. There are still worlds like Happy Hunting Ground to full-on simulation. Trends smens. Moneymakers got their hands on it and turned it into something that mattered. To players into something that mattered to them. I've talked enough. I can answer your questions now. Go ahead. Let's ask him about the guild. Are you guild master of Rusty Ed's guild? I am. It's a guild open to all players of adequate level. Heh. What level do I need to be at? In order to join Rusty Ed's guild, you need to listen to 3 daily stories. Ha! Tell me a story. Maybe later. I'm tired. Ask your questions because, if you have any, because I'm about to take a nap. Can I be admitted to the guild? Yes, I can admit you to the guild if you listen to 3 of my stories. Heh heh heh. That's the rule of the Rusty Ed's guild. Let's ask about the weather. Lovely weather, isn't it? Oh yes, it is. That's not how it used to be. Changing seasons, rain, storms. Now it's just sun all the time. That's what the players wanted. They were fed up with rain. Fancy that. I could tell you a lot of stories. Alright, questions. Let's ask about rumors. Ed, you look like a guy who knows a lot. Do you know any gossip? If you want gossip, go make friends with Fruity Betty. Now she's a chatterbox. Alright, tell me about the orange folk. Do you know anything about the orange farmers? Yeah, I've seen them. I've heard them. They act like bots, or idiots, or like idiots, or Alpacs. They play using freemium accounts, and they talk weird. There's no point mingling with them. Ed yawned. Forgive an old man. I've taught myself out. I need a nap. Okay. So, we've learned that players are all logged in with freemium accounts. Interesting. So, I'm thinking there's something weird going on. But you know what I'm also thinking? We're gonna have to wait till next time to find out what that is. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.